Okay, so just found out this fucker doesn't come with batteries. RIP. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Sorry it's been a while. I have been just working and chilling and, the usual suspects. But I just want to say thank you guys for sticking around. And I just posted my Scream non-spoiler first impressions on the channel. Previously, I think I saw it on Friday. I saw it on Friday night. I only had like 15 people in the theater. I had an awesome time. It was a nice film to just relax, enjoy, and it was a great movie in my opinion. And today is spoiler talk. We're going to talk about the spoilers. So we've got a little bit to talk about. It's not a lot. This is going to be a shorter video. However, I just want to point out that I am going to be talking spoilers. If you haven't seen the new Scream, please stay off this video. Come back whenever you've seen the movie, and we'll talk about it. Okay, so I'm going to talk about my positives about Scream. I loved the fact that they killed Dewey. Dewey is one of those characters that Dewey or Gale, they needed to kill. Like, one of them. One of them needed to die. And I've been waiting for years, and I always felt that, Wes Craven knew a little bit more about how to kill characters off and how to do it in a tasteful way, and he knew when to kill them off, and I feel like Dewey or Gale has always been the one big misfire of not killing, and luckily, this new Scream movie changes that. It adds a little bit of stakes, and you feel like anything could happen. And that's really the big thing about this movie, is that they actually had the balls to kill off a legacy character. And I'm all for it. I'm ready to see what's next. Honestly, I thought the movie was going to go balls to the walls, going for broke. I thought they were going to kill two. I thought either Sydney or Gale was going to die. Honestly, I thought it was going to be Sydney. That was going to be the legacy. And I know that everyone's like, well, they wouldn't kill off, Wes Craven's baby like that, his main character in one of his biggest franchises that he created. But I don't know. I mean, these new filmmakers, they're ballsy, and I'm all for it. I loved it. The next thing I want to talk about is the brutality in the movie. It's not, everyone's overblowing this movie. Like, literally, it is the goriest movie since fucking whatever. The goriest movie of all time. The bloodiest, the most brutal, all this shit, right? I don't know what movies y'all have seen, but this movie is not tame, but it's just average level brutality. It is vicious. The way that it's presented is vicious. I will say that. But it's not brutality. If you want brutality, go watch Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I'm sorry. That movie is probably the most brutal film that I've ever seen in the way it's brutal. So go watch that movie, come back and go watch Scream, and you'll know what I'm talking about. This movie is not tame. Like I said, it's not tame in terms of the brutality, but it's just enough brutality and viciousness that it feels grounded, and that it's not as goofy to watch. You know what I mean? Like, there's still Ghostface stumbling around, he's a klutz, but it's still well done, and that's really what I wanted out of this film. When they said that this was going to be a more serious take, this is what I imagined it was going to be, and I got that, and I like that. So, let me talk a little bit about the characters. Now, Sam is our main character. She was gone, and she has a secret and all this shit. And like I said, spoilers, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. Billy Loomis. She's the daughter of Billy Loomis. I knew that was going to be a thing. I'm sorry. I for some reason, I had a feeling they were going to bring it back. All throughout the marketing, it's going back to the original, going back to, Woodsboro. What big story would they have to tell? You know what I mean? And I had a feeling it was going to be fucking the main character was going to be someone related to Billy. And I was right. It's Sam's his daughter. And I think that was a really nice way, the angle of her having like these temptations of being a serial killer. I like that a lot. However, I think the way they did it was a little bit too on the nose. Like, I can't really explain it. Like, I feel like they did a little bit too much with Billy, but also at the same time, a part of me likes the way they did it. Especially at the end there when Billy's like, go for the knife. You know what I mean? If you've seen the movie, go for the knife. And she's just stabbing the shit out of Richie. I love that scene. Like, and I love the way that the character arcs went from the beginning to the end. And I like how it was portrayed. And how they followed through. A lot about this movie that I really like is that they follow through a lot of their storytelling. Like, they don't start shit and then just never talk about it again. Or never try to finish or conclude their story arc. Or a theme of the film getting wrapped up. You know what I mean? They finish all of it. And that's what I really like about this movie. And you don't see that a lot in filmmakers nowadays, is the ability to follow through on your themes, on your story, on your arcs. And this movie does that a lot. The Radio Silence team, props to you. You got a fan in me. I saw Ready or Not and I was like, shit, they could do Scream. So, I mean, to me, this movie succeeds with the direction. Now, I have a few problems with the script. The script, I think, tries way too hard on the meta. The meta commentary. There was these articles coming out that the Ready or Not filmmakers, Radio Silence, wasn't going to be going in a meta satirical direction. And in this movie, it was a total 180. They leaned in harder on the meta commentary than fucking Wes Craven did in all 4 of the Scream movies. So, it was, I think, a little bit over the top with the meta. I feel like I would say 75% of this movie is them talking about the rules, the meta-ness of it all, of requels, and I like the fact that they went in this direction, but I feel like they did it over too much in the script. And that's not the filmmaker's fault. The directors, that's not their fault. It's the script. Because for me, it was almost like they were preaching. It was getting a little bit preachy in areas, especially at the end. I like one of the characters. She was talking about the requels. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really a sequel. It's not really a reboot. It's like a mishmash between the two. You go back to the original and follow it up with a new sequel. I like that idea. Of having a character sort of like Randy talking about the rules. And, she didn't really talk about the rules. It was more of like explaining what a requel was. I feel like that scene lingered on too long, in my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel. I feel like that scene really lingered on. I feel like I figured out, this is the one thing I really wanted to, like, this is why I turned on the camera. I feel like this movie showed its hand way too early in the movie. And that sucks, because I wanted to not know, for the first time in a Scream movie, not know who the killer is. In almost every single Scream movie, you can almost guess within the first, I would say, 20 minutes. After you first meet the people is when every single movie shows its hand. In my opinion, Scream 1, at the, what would you call it, waterfall thing, or not waterfall, where all the high schoolers, Billy Loomis and Sydney and the whole friends group is sitting down at like this fucking, at the school in like a park area. I don't really know what to explain it. It's like a statue in the background. I don't know. I can't really remember. I feel like you can kind of already tell that Stu's the killer there. What does he say? You take a knife or whatever. Like whenever someone asks like, how could you gut somebody? And Stu's like, well, you take a knife. You know what I mean? You could tell. Scream 2, I feel like Mickey, especially with the idea of a sequel, what's in that classroom scene? When they're in like the film studies or film class, he's talking about, many sequels have surpassed the original. I mean, come on, guys. It's not that hard. I'm looking back at it like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But if you actually watch movies and you've seen a lot of whodunits like I have, you can pretty much see, and I saw Scream 2 later on in my life, like, as I became a horror filmmaker and lover, you could see the red herrings and, like, you can be like, alright, that's there to throw you off, you know what I mean? And this movie especially, Jesus Christ, the scene in particular, for me, was, God, what was her name? It's the woman. I don't remember her name. That's the only problem with the characters. Their names are not said enough for me. Like, you get one or two mentions of their fucking names, and then they're dead. Or they're fucking not on screen. I feel like we don't spend enough time with these characters to really get to know them. Anyways, sorry, I'm rambling. The woman killer. I knew it was her. I knew she was involved. I didn't know if she was going to be like a full-on killer. But I knew she was going to be involved. And especially in the Scream movie, she's a fucking killer. It was at a recreation of that Scream 1 scene that I was just talking about with all the teenagers sitting together. When one of them says, or talks about Judy Hicks, which is a recurring character from Scream 4, which is awesome, by the way. She's an awesome actress. Look at her face when Judy is mentioned. She looks right at her, like the camera, like she's focused on that scene and how it's framed. Look at her. She is actually sort of the focus of the shot. It's a little bit off to the left or to the right. I can't really remember where she was sitting. But the filmmakers wanted us to look at her. And she is just dead-eyeing Judy. Dead-eyeing, just fucking, you know what I mean? And, I feel like it showed its hand with her. The good thing, though, is Richie. Richie, I was not expecting. I was not expecting Richie to be a killer. Mainly because I feel like the filmmakers were smarter, and now I don't want to piss anybody off, especially the crew at Radio Silence. I don't want to piss anybody off, but I feel like they were smarter than that reveal. I mean, that character being the killer. We've already done that. We've been there, done that with the boyfriend being the killer. With Billy, that I really hated that. I really did, because I feel like the Radio Silence crew knows that us fucking horror film fans and filmmakers, we're fucking smart. We're fucking smart. And if you just do a retread, you're not doing anything to impress us. I mean, we've seen that before. Countless times. Probably done better in other movies. So, do something different. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the one bad thing about the script. That really just screams out at me is that they just wanted to retread. You know what I mean? And that's not something you want to do. Especially when you're desperately trying to make a new trilogy, getting Scream back onto the market. You don't want to retread. You want to do something new. I would have actually taken it in a different direction. I would have had the main killer be the main character be the killer. I was talking about it to someone last night. I was like, shit, what has Scream not done? The main killer be our main character. That would have probably shocked every fucking body. Everyone would have been like, what the fuck? The whole theater would have went nuts. But instead, we got a retread. And I'm a filmmaker myself, and that's what I would have done. But they are better filmmakers than me right now, and they're more established. What can I say? But I honestly think that the script needed a little bit more touching up, and it needed a little bit more TLC, a little bit more thought put into it. And it like I said, guys, I like this movie. I love this movie. There's a lot of moments, especially with Dewey's death. It's an honor. In the third act, the lines in this movie are fucking awesome. Like the one-liners, the shit that especially Sydney, Gale, and Dewey say is fucking awesome. Every single one of the characters I liked. I liked most of the acting, by the way. I feel like in a little bit of spots, like a little at the third act of the movie, when the characters that are the killers, Richie and that one girl, when they're going over the top, they're fucking crazy. But I feel like it was a little bit over the top. A little bit overdone, a little bit, But I liked it. This movie has flaws. It's not a perfect movie, guys. It's not a perfect movie, but it's damn good. It's a damn good reboot to the franchise, requel, whatever you want to call it. But I do think that this movie has a lot of potential, and it could have been the best Scream since the original, or even better. A lot of the problems with this movie is that everyone's overhyped. You know what I mean? Like, people that I've seen online that are disappointed, they're overhyped as fuck. They're like, shit, I want this movie to be great. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, me too. But everyone's overhyping it. The critics have overhyped it. The fans have. It's not perfect. Don't go into this movie thinking it's perfect. And I know this is a spoiler review, and I'm really saying this to the people who like to watch spoiler reviews before they go and see the movie. I know there's people out there, I don't know if you watch my channel, but this is for you. Go into this movie expecting at least a decent Scream movie. I mean, is it the best movie ever? No. Is it the best Scream ever? No. I do think that this movie is probably my second favorite Scream movie. It is rewatchable as hell. I think that this movie has that rewatchability just to go back and feel it. You know what I mean? It's more like an experience of a Scream movie. And you can feel the love in this movie. You know what I mean? For Wes Craven, for the franchise, for the love of the Ghostface character. You know, this movie it handles a lot of things right. And I feel like it just fumbles a little bit. It stumbles a little bit, just like every movie does. My own film, The Pale Ghost, it stumbles a little bit, and that's perfectly fine. No movie is perfect, guys. There's better than others, but no movie's perfect. Trust me, there's going to be flaws. And this movie, I think I like it because of the flaws. I mean, it's not squeaky clean. You know what I mean? Anyways, I give this movie, I would say, out of 5, at least a 4. 4 out of 5. Out of 10, I'd say about an 8. 8 out of 10. I liked it. I like this movie a lot. I think every Scream fan should go and see this movie. And this is going to be a 4K buy. 4K Steelbook at Best Buy. Baby, this is 4K, baby. It's a damn good movie. I love it. I wanted to go see it again after I got out of the theater. I said, shit, I gotta go see that bitch again. But I didn't. I'm a college student. I can't go rewatch movies all the time. But it's a good movie. It's not perfect. But if you're expecting a good Scream movie, this is what you want. I feel comfortable with the Radio Silence crew carrying on. I think they did a wonderful job, and I think they should be the creators with this new franchise, in this new trilogy. Because this one has a different feel. It's not just like Wes Craven's Scream films. It has a little bit more to it. And a little bit more, it takes itself a little bit more seriously, but also it kind of doesn't with that, meta commentary. It's a weird balance. But if you're like me and you're up for it and you're open to it, this movie's going to be fucking awesome and you're going to buy it like I am. So anyways, guys, I love you guys to death. Thank you guys for sitting here and listening to me ramble. I know I ramble a lot. I'm trying to do better. I love you guys to death. You guys take it easy, alright? I know this year's kicking our ass already. But just hang in there. I'm going to try and make an announcement video for you guys. I got a good announcement for my channel and for my film. I love you guys to death. Take it easy, boys.